Hello again, everyone, and welcome to this week's Gospel Talk. I hope you had a pleasant weekend. This weekend brings us to the 16th Sunday in Ordinary Time. And once again, we have a reading from the Gospel of Mark. So I will read the Gospel, and I will give you my thoughts, and then you open your heart to hearing it again wherever you choose to worship this weekend, whether Saturday or Sunday, and see what it says to you. A reading from the Holy Gospel according to Mark. Glory to you, O Lord. The apostles gathered together with Jesus and reported all they had done and taught. And he said to them, "Come away by yourselves to a deserted place and rest a while." People were coming and going in great numbers, and they had no opportunity even to eat. So they went off in the boat by themselves to a deserted place. People saw them leaving, and many came to know about it. They hastened there on foot from all the towns and arrived at the place before they did. When he disembarked and saw the vast crowd, his heart was moved with pity for them, for they were like sheep without a shepherd. And he began to teach them many, many things. The Gospel of the Lord. Praise to you, Lord Jesus Christ. You know, unlike today, the world back then was very difficult to live in wherever one tread, wherever one called home. In this world today, as you know, and quite honestly, in the United States, we're very, very benefited, and we benefit greatly by the type of world that we have. We have places of comfort. Most of us have homes. Most of us have no worry about being out in the rain or the cold or even being without food. But I must stress what I said when I said most of us. For the world is very much as it was 2,000 years ago, in that there are many of us that do not have comforts, that don't have the security of a home or the security of a job or the security of knowing that they will always have anything they need to eat when they're hungry, any type of clothing that they need depending on what the weather is. Everything that their family needs them to provide may not be so readily available, and even if it is, they may not be able to afford it. So when we hear this gospel today, we see Jesus looking at these people, knowing that these people have been following him for probably days, maybe even longer. And the apostles at this time and Jesus went off away from them because they hadn't eaten either. They hadn't had a chance to rest. And these people were not letting their being tired prevent them from following Jesus. And that made his heart sing on one end and made him feel great pity for them on another. And he wanted to provide them with what they needed because they were going to follow him wherever he went. Now, it's almost like they were abandoned by following him, and he wanted to make sure that they would have whatever it was that they needed. Now, unlike the world today, where leaders in the world often sell themselves and promise that certain things will be given or certain things will be provided if they're kept in leadership, Jesus wasn't looking for that. He didn't care. He wasn't looking for votes. He wasn't looking for an office where he could become ruler. He was the Son of God. He knew he was a ruler. And yet he had the humility, much like John the Baptist did. He had great humility and would end up washing the feet of those disciples that followed him as a great example to us all. This world is the same as it was back then, in that there are still people suffering from terminal illnesses that we don't know how to cure. There are still people that are hungry. There are still people that have no drinkable water, no shelter. And the saddest part of all of this is that even after 2,000 years, there are still people in the world that have no idea who Jesus is. So right here in this gospel, Jesus says that the laborers are few. The harvest is abundant, but the laborers are few, meaning that there are a lot of people that are there waiting to listen, but there are not enough of us laborers out there to spread the word. Now, I'm not saying we should all get ordained as priests and deacons, or we shouldn't become sisters or nuns. I'm not saying that's what we should do, but by the way we live our lives, people should know that there is a different way and that there is a God. And that is what Jesus is asking us to do. Proclaiming his word without fear of repercussion or fear of being unpopular for doing so. That is one of the messages he shared in the Beatitudes. Blessed are they who will basically speak on my behalf and not be embarrassed to do so, and will suffer because of their belief in me. So after this gospel today, as short and beautiful and to the point as it was, the question to us is, are we ready to be conduits of Jesus? Are we ready to be laborers in this lifetime? Are we ready to spread the word, not only in voice, but in action? Well, that is what I get out of this gospel today. And perhaps you will get a different message, and that message will be just for you, and it'll be just as correct. Open your hearts, open your ears, and open your eyes, and let Christ in. God bless you. Have a wonderful 16th Sunday in Ordinary Time. Thank you for joining us. Next week I will be back in the chapel. We're having some more work done, so I'm in my office. I hope you like the pictures behind you. They all mean a great deal to me. God bless you, and have a wonderful, wonderful 16th Sunday in Ordinary Time.